Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Raw live from Jacksonville, Florida. Just 2 more stops, including this one on the road to WrestleMania. And we are kicking off the show with our esteemed interim Raw General Manager, William Regal. He was made the interim General Manager last week by our CCO, Triple H, in which he made his return late, mind you, but he made his return nonetheless during the contract signing of Sophia Everett and Molly Holly, in which that match will now be a no-holds-barred in the main event of Night 1. And if Molly Holly loses said matchup, she will lose her position as the Raw General Manager. And the question is, if she is to lose that match, who will take her place? And speaking of the storm, a storm has come to Jacksonville, Florida. Familiar grounds for Jade Cargill, who is here on Monday Night Raw. Obviously has had her problems with Mercedes Moné as of late, since really the Royal Rumble, you could say, which he cost Mercedes the Women's World Championship. I mean, when they've had some disagreements, and ultimately, I mean, Mercedes inadvertently costing Jade Cargill a spot in the Royal Rumble match, and Jade Cargill returning the favor by costing her the Women's World Championship, and then Jade Cargill being taken out, I believe, the following Monday on Raw by Mercedes, being left in a pool of her own blood, and having to be rushed to the local hospital, which took her out of action for about a month, maybe a month and a half, in which she made her triumphant return at Roadblock. And she has been in pursuit of the blueprint, the CEO, the standard, the legit boss, Mercedes Moné. And if I am to guess correctly, she is out here in front of our interim general manager to make one request, and that is Mercedes Moné. Speak of the devil and you shall get her. Mercedes has arrived to Jacksonville. And, I mean, look at Jade drawing the ire of the Storm. And Jade Cargill making it clear she is on the hunt tonight. And Mercedes Moné is booking it as Jade Cargill gives chase to the Blueprint, the Standard, the CEO once more. What a chaotic start to Monday Night Raw here tonight. Welcome back to Monday Night Raw, William Regal. And the chase is continuing here in the back as Mercedes making a beeline to the parking lot, but Jade Cargill not very far behind as she is on the hunt for the Blueprint, who catches Jade Cargill slipping, hiding behind that corner, but Jade Cargill planting Mercedes with a vicious super kick and finally getting her hands on Mercedes as she drives her into that car with a stiff kick to the midsection. Jade Cargill, this has to feel like vindication. Finally getting her hands on Mercedes, getting in some shots after Mercedes tried to end the career of Jade a few weeks ago, really a couple of months ago, as Mercedes is right back into the fight, taking down Jade Cargill. We have chaos here in the backstage area, hitting Jade with a traffic cone and just launching it at her. I mean, that cannot feel good, ladies and gentlemen, even though that is plastic. It is very heavy. Stiff kick to the midsection on Jade. Mercedes in control here on this fight. Here in the back, a brouhaha needs to get under control here. Where the hell is security in this building? Jacksonville. God damn it, WWE needs to employ some better security to get some control of this chaos. Albeit William Regal did state that maybe this is just the identity of Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is a chaotic environment as Jade Cargill is taken down with a stop sign from Mercedes. As Mercedes is rubbing dirt on Jade and now just mounting her with some ground and pound and a big slap. The identity of Monday Night Raw is chaos, and William Regal in his interim status as of right now will feed into that chaos, feed into the storm that is Monday Night Raw. Big shot with the baseball bat from Mercedes, just repeated, taking out Jade Cargill. Message sent from the CEO. And maybe Jade picking off just a little bit more than she can chew here tonight. Maybe she should have held off on the hunt, because Mercedes used brain over brawn here.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Laredo, Texas, Roxanne Perez.
But now we have tag team action. William Regal already getting to work here tonight, putting together Cora, Jade, and Blair Davenport taking on their respective WrestleMania opponents here tonight in a tag team match. Obviously, Cora Jade will meet Roxanne at WrestleMania, defending her Intercontinental Championship against former friend, longtime foe, Roxanne Perez. And Stephanie Vaquer and Blair Davenport in a grudge match at WrestleMania, which really kind of started a little bit before Roadblock and came to a head-to-head Roadblock when Blair Davenport inadvertently hit Vaquer with Severance. And then Vaquer, after the match, returned the favor to Blair Davenport with some SVB. Now here we are. I guess Dominion, taking on Roxanne Perez and Stephanie Vaquer, who have their own history in NXT over the Women's NXT Championship, finding themselves teaming up here tonight. Blair Davenport and Cora Jade, you have to wonder if they're going to be on the same page. Yes, they are in the Dominion, but it didn't seem like two people on the same page as of, earlier with their confrontation. And then you still got to wonder about Alba, Fyre, and Isla Dawn. What are their intentions with Blair Davenport? Where do they mix up in all this? And then obviously Blair Davenport's tensions with Sophia, with Chelsea. Dominion's all over the place. And then you throw in wrenches like Stephanie Vaquer. You throw in wrenches like Naomi, who's teaming up with Chelsea Green to chase for the tag team championships, however that's going to shake out. It's a complicated situation going on with the Dominion right now, and it's very, how would you describe it? Volatile. Volatile is a word I would use to describe the Dominion situation. And it feels like every week the top guy, Jean, is adding more fuel to the fire. Or maybe everybody else around her is adding more fuel to the fire. This woman is a ticking time bomb. And Stephanie Vaquer just keeps poking and prodding. And at WrestleMania, she will get the full force of the top guy, Jean, who has just been on a warpath since returning at the Royal Rumble. Granted, I don't think she's won a match since coming back at the Royal Rumble, but that doesn't mean she will not leave with her pound of flesh. Obviously, her objective since coming back has been getting her hands on Bianca Belair, but her path is kind of veered a little bit here, especially with Bianca Belair being wrapped up in her WrestleMania opponent since winning the Royal Rumble, the Women's World Champion Sophia Everett. And now Blair Davenport finds herself going up against Stephanie Vaquer at WrestleMania, who has been, if Blair would have put it, she's been sticking her nose where it doesn't belong since Stephanie Vaquer took on Sophia Everett one-on-one in an open challenge for the World's Championship. Obviously, the relationship, they've gotten a lot closer over the past, really, few months. I mean, it really started at Survivor Series, if we're going to be honest, the relationship between Vaquer and Sophia, but it's really amped up since that Women's Open Challenge, Women's World Championship Open Challenge, that is. And then, I guess Blair not taking too kindly to it. And then you got Cora Jade parading around with the championship she never lost in the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That's enough to send anyone mad. And then, I mean, Chelsea Green's just pissing her off at every turn, too, so that doesn't help.
And from Chicago, Illinois, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Cora Jade.
This woman, Cora Jade, has to be very confident going into her match at WrestleMania. I mean, she's kind of got Chelsea under her thumb right now, you know? Roxanne Perez has never beaten Cora Jade in one-on-one action. The last time these two have faced off, it was a no-holds-barred at Armageddon, in which saw Cora Jade victorious in such a matchup. But at WrestleMania, it will not be no-holds-barred. It will be one-on-one, a wrestling contest. And you have to think, in such of a matchup, with the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line, that's a match that favors Roxanne Perez. Now, I'm not trying to discredit the Women's World Champion. She does have victories over the likes of Selena Drake. She does have a victory over the likes of Mercedes Moné. Technically, she wasn't involved in the decision because Jade Cargill ran her off, but a victory is a victory nonetheless. She has victories over Bianca Belair. She has victories over Julia. She has victories over Chelsea Green. She's beaten a who's who in this division. But, I mean, we've never seen Roxanne Perez more focused, more hungry than she has been in recent months, especially with the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. As Cora Jade tags herself into the matchup, and Blair Davenport not taking a liking to it. We know what Blair Davenport said earlier, just stay out of my way and things will go the way she wants to. And I don't think that is staying out of Blair Davenport's way, and it looks as if Cora Jade will have to go it alone here tonight. This tag team match is now turned into a handicap match as Roxanne gets a pin there, only on one count. And this is not the situation you want to be in if you're the Sorceress of Sin heading into WrestleMania with the Intercontinental Championship on the line. I mean, taking on this matchup in this possible situation, I mean, this could end up in an injury. And if she's not able to compete at WrestleMania, that means legally Roxanne Perez will be the champion. And, I mean, I have to wonder what was going through Cora Jade's mind before she made that blind tag, knowing how red hot Blair Davenport is and how easy it is for her to fly off the handle right now as Roxanne Perez tags in Stephanie Vaquer. And that, I mean, this is the situation that Cora Jade is in right now. Roxanne and Vaquer can just make frequent tags, make sure they're fresh at all times, while Cora can go to absolutely no one. And she goes for a pinfall here after a vicious maneuver to Vaquer, but only gets a 1 count on Stephanie Vaquer, who, I mean, since losing that World's Championship match, I mean, she hasn't really been doing anything either, to be honest. But she's been in prominent positions and fighting the good fight against the Estate, against Blair, and now finds herself on the grandest stage of them all. She hits a vicious succession of headbutts into the corner on Cora Jade. Last week's promo from Roxanne Perez when she took that trip down to NXT, very emotional, going over the history between herself and Cora Jade. And now these two, I mean, came up together and now find themselves on WrestleMania for the very first time in their careers. Obviously, last year, Roxanne Perez was not on WrestleMania. Cora Jade not eligible to compete due to injury, taken out by who we later found out Bianca Belair. And now they find themselves on their first ever WrestleMania card along with Stephanie Vaquer and also Blair Davenport, I believe. This is her first WrestleMania as well. A lot of first WrestleManias here at WrestleMania 41. I mean, you can't find yourself in a better match than a championship match at WrestleMania in Las Vegas, one of the entertainment capitals of the world. As Cora Jade finds herself in control here, and just as I say it, she's shot right down with a jumping European uppercut from the Prodigy. And now she's targeting the arm, softening up that arm for the crossface later on in this match, possibly. We've seen her beat a multitude of opponents with that maneuver. Just as recently, I believe she beat Naomi with the crossface at Roadblock. And Selena Drake, I believe she also submitted to become the #1 contender. As Cora Jade is in full control here in this handicap match. If you're just joining us, it was supposed to be Blair Davenport against Cora Jade. Teaming up with Cora Jade against Vaquer and Roxanne, but Cora Jade tagged herself in, and Blair Davenport didn't take too kindly to that. Shoving Cora Jade down to the ground and walking off on the matchup, effectively turning this into a handicap match. And so far, Cora Jade has kind of held her own against La Primera and the Prodigy. And just as I say that, Stephanie Vaquer mounting some offense here. And what the hell? SVP to Cora Jade! Tagging in Roxanne Perez. SVP, what the hell? Tagging in Roxanne to maybe let her get a victory here over her opponent. But Roxanne wants to deal out more punishment. Yeah, I mean, now going for the pin. I mean, that was quite a strategy on Roxanne's part. You want to deal out as much punishment, even though WrestleMania is still about a week away, a couple weeks away. You want to deal as much punishment out to the champion going into your matchup in WrestleMania and soften her up. And it effectively raises your chances of becoming champion. First ever main roster championship. First ever championship on the main roster, rather. Big knee into the corner, step up style. Got all of it from the Sorceress of Sin, and now hunting Roxanne Perez. Laying in wait, kicking the gut. Got all of it with Jaded from the Intercontinental Champion. But Vaquer right there to make the save, and that is where Cora Jade is at a disadvantage with Blair Davenport walking out of this matchup as she takes out Vaquer, now going up to the high red district. Big swanton there from Jade. What an impact. That was stiff. Straight back to body contact with some double foot stomps to the back. And I mean, Roxanne Perez, counterpoint for Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez also runs the risk of leaving this match with an injury. And I mean, that could effectively end her chances of becoming Intercontinental Champion as she counters Cora Jade, and it's a big running uppercut in that corner. Big stiff kick to the back, and now locking in the crossface. She softened up the arm and the shoulder area of Cora Jade earlier in the match. Now she has the crossface locked in. Cora Jade really close there to the bottom rope. Maybe can reach her foot there. She does have the length advantage over Roxanne Perez, but Roxanne maybe feeling that grip loosening and letting go, and immediately want to tag in her fresher tag team partner, Stephanie Vaquer, who Irish whips Cora Jade off of that rope. But Stephanie Vaquer not able to get a hold of Cora Jade. Big shoulder block there from Cora. Stephanie Vaquer going for a drop kick, but misses Cora Jade with a roll up. Maybe looking to steal it here. But Vaquer kicking out before even a count of one. Grabbing a hold of Cora Jade, throwing her to that corner. Cora Jade trying to counter. She does. Big kick, double foot to the face. Getting her up Oklahoma style position and dropping her shoulder across the knee. That wasn't the surgical repair one, I believe. I believe her surgical repair one is the left one, if I'm remembering correctly. Big super kick there from Vaquer. Tagging in Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez coming to the ring, maybe looking to finish this match in position. The crossface. She's been loosening the shoulder and arm area this entire match up in Cora Jade. With no choice but to tap Roxanne Perez with the victory over the champion.
Here are your winners, the team of Roxanne Perez and Stephanie Vaquer.
And you have to think that puts some fear into the heart of the Intercontinental Champion. Going into WrestleMania, Roxanne Perez getting a victory over the Intercontinental Champion before WrestleMania severance from Blair Davenport. Hit and run from the top guy, Jean. On La Primera. Catching her slipping. Hit and run from Blair and running off like a coward. sending a message to our opponent at WrestleMania. Dominion's down bad, brother. No other way to put it. And speaking of Dominion, here comes their leader, the captain, the women's world champion, coming out here to address her WrestleMania opponent of Night 2, the Royal Rumble winner, the EST, the leader of the estate, Bianca Belair, after last week's attack, in which saw Sophia Everett put her name on the dotted line against her other WrestleMania opponent on Night 1, Molly Holly. She was put through a table by Bianca Belair. And it seems as though Bianca and Sophia have gone tit for tat week in, week out over one another. And I mean, it was inevitable that these two would lock horns. And it's only appropriate that they do it at the grandest stage of them all. And I mean, it's as personal as it gets, with Sophia costing Bianca months of her career. And Bianca coming forward in blood. And I mean, lately you could see Bianca is being pushed to a whole nother level. And here we go. WrestleMania opponents meeting early here. Oh yeah, let's get it going. Meeting of the minds here at WrestleMania. Could possibly be seeing it early here in Jacksonville. Or maybe not. Bianca Belair maybe having second thoughts on this possible fight. On here we go. We had to figure the estate. Bianca Belair. I mean, she has her own crew now, and she's gonna use it to her advantage with Sophia fighting the good fight, but nothing you can do with the bougie bully Lash legend who just tosses Sophia Everett like a ragdoll. Jesus Christ! Right in a position for Lash or Cora to do some damage, as Bianca Belair is watching on with amusement and pleasure as the estate just dissecting the women's world champion, dissecting her apart. Lash legend with a big body splash. Where the hell is Cora Jade? Where the hell is Blair Davenport? Where is anybody to come stop this massacre? Come stop this assault by the estate on the women's world champion. Wait, look at the stage. Look at the stage. Naomi, Chelsea Green, coming to the aid of the women's world champion, making a beeline to the ring to take on the estate after last week, after they were assaulted. Their championship tag team match interrupted. Taking the fight to Lash, taking the fight to Cora. It's bedlam out here in Jackson. What the hell? Jordan Grace out here now. God damn it, she did tell Molly Holly earlier in the night she would take care of the Sophia Everett problem. Molly Holly panicking, With no Mercedes, no Jade, no Selena, no one on the roster would help her. And Jordynne Grace ensuring Molly Holly that she's got her. Thea Hale! It's absolute chaos out here as Thea Hale taking the fight to her WrestleMania opponent. Jordynne Grace, the Juggernaut. Thea Hale not backing down. Laying in wait for Jordynne Grace. Thea Hale going crazy, suicide dive. Throwing caution to the wind. And look at this snake, this opportunist, the EST, calling for Sophia to get to her feet, looking for the spear. Sophia Everett catching her. GTS to her challenger at WrestleMania. These two will go to war at Mania. But next week, they put their names on the dotted line to make it official. Sophia Everett, Bianca Belair. God damn it, Molly Holly. Always a plan. With Molly Holly taking advantage of the situation. Getting one over on Sophia. And now to the... Bianca looks upset, getting in between her and Sophia, not really liking Molly coming to her aid here. But Molly Holly getting one over on her WrestleMania opponent, Sophia will have her hands full come WrestleMania.